The big news of the day, SCO summit in China. In a meeting that was watched closely across the globe, Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping held talks in Tianjin, signaling a possible restart in India-China ties as both sides called for trust, peace and partnership. The Chinese president and his wife also received the Prime Minister for the SCO summit official reception. More about this in our next report.
The dragon and the elephant must come together. That was the message from Chinese President Xi Jinping to Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a high-stakes bilateral on the sidelines of the SCO summit in Tianjin. Xi recalled last year's Kazan meeting as the turning point, the reset moment for China-India ties. Now, with diplomacy gaining ground, he urged both nations, two ancient civilizations, two population giants, two pillars of the global south to rise above rivalry and embrace partnership. Xi called for strategic vision, not short-term suspicion, mutual trust, not threats. And yes, a dancing of the dragon and the elephant as the right path forward.
It is a great pleasure to meet you again, Mr. Prime Minister. I welcome you to China for the SCO summit. Last year, we had a successful meeting in Kazan. The world is going towards transformation. China and India are two of the most civilizational countries. We are the world's two most populous countries and part of the global south. It is vital to be friends, a good neighbor, and the dragon and the elephant to come together.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi reaffirmed that India-China ties are back on a positive track. He pointed to concrete signs, a peaceful border, resumption of direct flights and Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, and a renewed commitment to cooperation. Prime Minister Modi stressed that India and China are not adversaries but partners in progress.
सीमा पर डिसएंगेजमेंट के बाद शांति और स्थिरता का माहौल बना हुआ है। हमारे स्पेशल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स के बीच बॉर्डर मैनेजमेंट के संबंध में सहमति बनी। कैलाश मानसरोवर यात्रा फिर से शुरू की।
Even Chinese media is calling this meeting a potential breakthrough, a turning point in India-China ties.
हम बहुत खुशी से ये देख रहे हैं जिन भारत हम दोनों दो पड़ोसी देश है ना हम तो इस दुनिया के सबसे बड़े विकासशील देश भी है और इस दुनिया के तो उभरती अर्थव्यवस्थाएं भी है तो अगर हम दोनों एक साथ हाथ मिलकर काम करते हैं तो जरूर बहुत सबसे मजबूती शक्ति होगी.
As the world watches a shifting global order, both leaders agreed this relationship must be driven by long-term purpose, not border headlines. Could Tianjin be the breakthrough? With Gaurav Sawant and Shweta Singh in Tianjin, Bureau Report, India Today.
So let's try and understand what exactly came out from this very crucial bilateral meet. There were some key decisions that were announced by China and also by India. Firstly, China said that they want peaceful borders and they want to recommit to calm and fair resolution of any disputes that might be arising. We know that the line of actual control has been something where we have seen India and China facing off. But in the last few months, we've also seen special representatives meeting and then working on resolution of these issues. Also, China said, we want to be partners, not rivals. Differences must not mean that they become disputes. This is extremely important because if the two large economies come together and work as partners, this is going to make a huge impact on the global economy. Also, stable ties equal stronger Asia. Well, this is plain to see. If the number 2 economy of the world and number 4 economy of the world have stronger ties, that means Asia is going to be strong. Not just growth will be seen, also there will be a multipolar world where There will be no one big boss, no one big country calling itself superpower and telling everyone else what to do. Also important, strategic autonomy. This is important because both the countries say they do not want any third-party influence. Which is that third party? Could it possibly be US, which has been at loggerheads with China as far as trade has been concerned, but surprisingly even more with India putting penalties on us for buying Russian energy. Also, Xi Jinping has been invited to the BRICS Summit 2026 and she has accepted and also pledged support for that event, which is important because BRICS is something that India has really focused on, and it is also something that particularly incenses Trump. And Trump hates the de-dollarization, which is one of the focuses of BRICS. Now let's talk about what are the action points of this bilateral meet. Well, there is going to be support for the boundary talks via special representatives. So the problems that we had seen in Eastern Ladakh, the line of actual control where we had seen the two countries and their troops coming at loggerheads, talks have been happening and special representatives have been meeting and talking, and now they're saying they're going to give more support and focus more on that. Boost of people-to-people ties, very important. There are cultural ties, there are religious ties as well, and now China is saying that the flights that were suspended in 2020 between India and China, straight flights, direct flights, they will be resumed. Visas, tourist visas for the Chinese nationals, that will be resumed. And Kailash Yatra, which is extremely important for us Indians, had already been resumed. So cultural ties and people-to-people ties are also in focus. Also in focus is trade. Why? Trade is extremely important for global economy and the regional economy. And now these two regional giants are saying that we are going to expand our ties and also, importantly for India, cut the deficit. The deficit that is present, India imports more. We always say the cheap Chinese goods that are dumped into India, imported by India, we buy that. So India now wants to focus on cutting that deficit, export more to China, find a market there, and also wider cooperation, where importantly, terror, trade, global issues. Terror is something that Prime Minister Modi picked up today in the bilateral conversation, and it is important for us because as and when India raises the issue of terrorism in this region, sometimes and many a times we have seen China counters it, helps Pakistan as well. So that's why terror needed to be brought onto the table. Now, SCO BRICS support is also extremely important, as these are two regional summits and talks where both these countries are present. These two global powerhouses in terms of economy and military, they are present over there, and this is what we are seeing, that India and China are backing these summits. Now, Prime Minister Modi spoke with Chinese leader Kai Xi as well. Pardon me. He is the man who is the leader of the Communist Party, and he sought his support. So remember, the Communist Party is the backbone of China, and it's important that you get support from there as well. Now, after the high-profile Modi-Xi meeting in Tianjin, all eyes are now on Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin. With the potential to change global alignments and regional power equations, this meeting signals more than just diplomatic protocol. Here's a news report.
The high-stakes SCO summit in Tianjin is underway. India, China and Russia troika is making global headlines. The meeting is expected to shape the trajectory of regional diplomacy and global alliances. All eyes are now on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Amid Trump's tariff blows, India and Russia are charting new directions for cooperation in a changing global order. The crucial meeting between Modi and Putin comes as Trump imposed steep tariffs on Indian goods as punishment for continued purchase of Russian oil. The discussions are expected to focus on deepening India-Russia cooperation, in trade and defense, addressing US pressure. At this juncture, India is also exploring greater involvement in Russia's Arctic energy projects and fast-tracking the North-South transport corridor, which can become India's gateway to Europe. As global alliances shift, the Modi-Putin equation remains the one to watch. With Gaurav Sawant, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, so let's focus on this triangle, the Russia-India-China triangle, RIC as it's popularly called. It's extremely important. Three important leaders, three strong leaders. What is there to see in it? Well, it was envisioned in the 1990s and it was to challenge the US dominance. Well, it's strikingly similar to the situation right now. Once again, these countries have to come together to again challenge the very dominance of US that it was first set up for. Now, this is going to happen under Russia's watch. Russia is the one which is trying to bring together the elephant and the dragon also. So the idea is Russia, which is a partner of India and China as well, it becomes the common ground or the common bond between the two countries to come and make this triangle. Now, this could offer Russia a strategic relief. Why? Well, you know, Russia has been selling its oil not just to India but also to China, and it could help Russia in currently with the situation that we see globally with most of the Western countries against it, two Asian powerhouses behind him. That's important, behind Putin. Now, this also helps China to expand their markets. What would China want more than expanding into India, which is one of the largest markets in the world? It is already importing a lot, but India could potentially give it much, much more. Now, India will also leverage everything possible also to undermine the US influence. This is extremely important. United States is currently imposing tariffs and penalty on India, while China, which is the biggest buyer of US energy, is going almost scot-free. So India has to find ways to ensure that it does not get cowed down by US bullying tactics. That is why it is important to have RIC, Russia, India, China. So now let's also try to understand how RIC is important in other aspects as well. Russia is desperate for allies amid Ukraine war. As we know, not only the European bloc is anti-Russia, but also we've seen Trump changing his tune again and again as far as Ukraine and Russia is concerned. Sometimes he's happy with Russia, sometimes he is not happy with what Putin is doing. So Ukraine war perspective, if you see, Russia will be happy with allies. Now, China is seeking economic opportunity with a market like India. It is also looking at opportunity, economic opportunity in terms of trading partners with Russia. They're already buying energy and many other things, as we all know, with each other. India, whereas, seeks flexibility. We know the tariff has been a huge blow for India, for its trade, for its economy. And to offset that, we need the flexibility where we can trade with China and try to create a bigger market there. Now, what is the problem in RIC? Well, it is the thin trust factor. India and China, we do not have a massive bond of trust that we have as India and Russia. But India-China, we've seen that in 2020, our soldiers clashed in Galwan, and that led to an extremely tumultuous relationship for almost 5 years. Also, China imposed some rare earth mineral curbs on India, which threatened India's EV sector. Remember, China, just by stopping certain exports from its side and putting some curbs, can impact India's economy and manufacturing sector, which could be threatening for India's economy. So those are the things when it does something like that, India loses trust. And that is exactly what India wants. Assurance that something like this will never happen again. Could that assurance come along or not? India Today global editor Pranay Upadhyay now joins us for this. Pranay, the assurances that India would seek from China, I would say would be majorly trust. Trust not just as far as border is concerned, but trust that whatever we import from them, and that sustains our economy and our sectors, would continue without any glitches. What do you say?
Anjali, as you know, the trust is built over the years and it can be broken by one incident. And if you see the history of India-China relationship, our trust got broken many a times. We have seen these beautiful pictures of, or smiling pictures of handshake, these statements with flowery language of expressing commitment. But all the commitments will always be judged by what happens on ground, and that's why when we were talking, I referred it to as cautious optimism, because that caution remains in this relationship, keeping in view the competition, keeping in view our long pending dispute, the unresolved border. There are very many issues. However, having said that, if these two economies, because these are two big economies, the two most populous countries on the planet, and and the Asian neighbors, if they can resolve their issues, if they can even manage their issues and move forward and build trust, that is going to be a big game changer in the new world order which is being talked about nowadays, which is going to be another pillar. Who are the key players of that multipolar world? Definitely, India figures in everything. See various groupings. If you take BRICS as an example, so there has been a grouping of India, China, Russia, which is RIC. There has been a IBSA, India, Brazil, South Africa. Even out of the BRICS, there are multilateral grouping, there are multilateral interests, there are multiple poles where you see there is a constant factor called India. India is managing its relation with the West as well. You see that India get invited in the G7 meetings as well. India get invited, in G20 meetings, a key player in the G20 meeting. China is trying to build another alternative world order, where it's like a China-led processes. We could see that how China has built another organization for the inter-country arbitrations as well. How China is going to display its military might as well. On 3rd of September, they are going to display their military might as well. China is also eyeing the global arms market as well. They are looking at the defense exports as well. So definitely, China is standing up against the United States, and the world order. If you see the geopolitics of last 10-15 years, we could see that the monopoly of the United States, or the unilateral world order of U.S.-led unilateral world order, is diminishing. The alternative world order has not yet taken the shape as yet. However, having said that, the previous meeting of RIC happened in 2018, and thereafter there has not been a RIC meeting, formal RIC meeting.
Absolutely, and we'll be keeping an eye on what happens between the two big countries, Russia and India, during the bilateral meet of Putin and Modi. Thank you very much, Pranay, for all that information. Now, China is known for its tech. And my colleague, Gaurav Sawant, is in Tianjin, where he is getting us all the lowdown of the tech that China is displaying at SCO. Take a look.
At the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Media Center, SCO Summit Media Center here in Tianjin, the center of attraction truly is SCO, a robot. The use of artificial intelligence and robot technology, something that China has been showcasing to the world. And you ask Sauchen a question, she responds to your questions. She speaks as of now in 3 languages, English, Russian, and of course Chinese. So let me ask a question. Saucha, how are you?
I'm functioning optimally.
I'm functioning optimally. Thank you.
Currently operating at full capacity to assist you.
Okay,
How may I be of service today?
So Saucha, tell me what happened in the meeting between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President Xi Jinping.
As an AI assistant.
You can change another question.
Okay, so there are some questions in China that are not answered, not even by robots. So what can I ask you? Okay, How was the meeting? What do we expect from the SCO summit?
The Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit serves as an important platform for member states to discuss regional cooperation, security, and economic development. While specific meeting details aren't publicly available until officially released,
Okay.
you can expect discussions on enhancing multilateral cooperation,
Fair enough.
addressing regional challenges, and promoting economic initiatives among member nations.
So, how are India-China relations moving forward? Silence, stunned silence. And perhaps when you talk about artificial intelligence, because a lot depends on what's fed into the system and what comes out of the system. But if I say Ilu Pingan, what does Ilu Pingan mean?
The term "looping doesn't appear to be a standard technical or common phrase in English.
Okay, so that,
Likely a typo, abbreviation,
okay,
or
so
specialized term from a specific context.
thank you very much. So when it comes to artificial intelligence, the robot, very interesting. Some of the answers in China, the questions are best not asked. Gaurav Sawant in Tianjin, China, for India Today. At the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, right here at the Media Center, the effort is to show Chinese technology. And come closer, let me show you what these robots are all about. These are packets, and this robot makes that distinction which packet has to go there. With me is Mia or Molame. Mia, hi. What can you tell us? What does this robot do?
This robot is from Tianjin Personis Company's humanoid robot. Its name is Tora One, and its major function is, as you see, it can just pick the package and category them. Just put them into different sorts, categories based on their colors. And as you can see over the baskets over there, it have black packages with the black ones and the white with the white ones. Yeah.
So this is just one of the many technologies on display. So watch this. It has the camera there. It notices the package. It has fingers that makes the distinction and drops it in different categories depending on the color of the package. They can also make that distinction according to weight. So automation is the key that they're trying to show. What is also very interesting, and come closer, let me try and show you this. This is a drone recharger, and it's all about size, scale, and scale. How many drones? This is a drone charger, am I right?
Yes. It's not only just a drone charger. It can just, just let the drone up and just put it down and some of that. So it's, yeah.
So it's automation. In the civil, it has a role. In military, it can have a role. What role does it have? So this is a machine that not only charges the drone, it can replace a faulty part, and it can launch a drone. And apparently more than 50 drones, one after the other. It has the capability of recharging, repairing, and launching. The number of drones it can repair and launch.
The number of drones is, this one I need to ask my technician right now. Yeah.
Perfect. So when I was speaking to one of the technicians, they were telling me about the size, scale, and speed with which these robotic arms they work. And just imagine, so this drone has a camera here. It's a quadcopter. It can be used for surveillance. It can also, in a different context, have other uses. So this is where their technology comes. Another piece of equipment that is on display here is something that would ultimately replace a human. This is a charger, a battery charger in an electronic vehicle. What does it do? So you bring your car, you don't even have to spend time in putting the charger. This arm does it on its own, a robotic arm. So this is how China is displaying some of these robots, and these youngsters are explaining this. Now, what is their effort? The effort is to show the size, the scale at which all these technologies are coming into China, also artificial intelligence. Gaurav Sawant in Tianjin, China for India Today. This is the next generation of technology. This is an immersive technology experience. So watch this screen and watch this equipment around me. This gives you a sense of what's happening around. So the next time you watch a movie, it may just be like this in a giant movie theater, where the theater is also on the floor. This will show you the entire experience of the movie that you're watching, and it's not just sight, it's also the smell. So every sensory power is being used here. So for example, if there's a fragrant tree or there are flowers, there'll be a fragrance of trees and flowers just behind, you see the trees there and you smell that fragrance here. That's the experience. And let me show it to you how this immersive technology works. So you have, like in a movie theater, chairs like this. So I'm sitting here and watching this movie. Now when I watch these images, it's all over. I get a sense of height here. I can see the birds, they're flying around me, and then they soar. And it's all around me, this immersive experience. Watch this. It's as if these images transport you there. From artificial intelligence to the sensory power, all of that is being utilized here, and this is what China is showcasing. With me is a volunteer here at this stall, and Changling, you explain to me what this experience is.
You mean this video? Actually, we have two video, and this one is means the wings of peace, shared destiny, and we can see this have many different SCO members country, and there are very famous landscapes in here, and this here you can see the 3D effects. Yes, it's very directly to feel the you can see and you can smelling, touching, all this in one. Yes.
So it's the use of all your senses and sensory power. It's not just see it; you can also smell it and touch it. It almost feels as if you're soaring like the people there. That's Kremlin, Moscow in winters. Does that make you feel cold? Well, that's the impression. Of course, the air conditioning here hasn't come on to make you feel cold or to feel that there is a whale right behind you. But I am told their effort is that next time you see a horse, you can smell the horse. When you see a whale and there's a splash of water, there'll be a splash of water on your face. So that is how immersive they intend to make this technology. Gaurav Sawant in Tianjin, China for India Today.
And with that, it's a wrap on this bulletin. Thank you for watching India Today. For more news and updates, you can log on to indiatoday.in. You can also download the app.